Donald Trump has been spiraling out of control more than ever since he returned from Asia. Not only is he demanding that the United States resume nuclear bomb testing, he also is demanding that the MAGA Republicans in the Senate use the nuclear option to kill the filibuster to stop the Trump government shutdown while still depriving 42 million Americans of their SNAP benefits. 20 million Americans are going to lose their health care. Donald Trump is posting like a maniac, and he's begging Democrats to do something. Here's what he posted. When I first saw this, I said, is this fake? No, it's real. It's real. He posted yesterday, as I've said for years, Obamacare is a disaster. Rates are going through the roof for really bad health care. Exclamation points. Do something, Democrats. Do something, Democrats. As Carl Quintanilla points out, Donald Trump's the guy who said, I alone can fix it. And now he says, do something, Democrats. Republicans control all branches of government. Donald, during your first term, you promised a health care plan in 2 weeks. Then, in the run-up to the 2020 election, remember you showed up to that 60 Minutes interview with a binder filled with 600 to 700 blank pages, and you said, this is the healthcare plan. Then Leslie Stahl looked at it and said, there's actually nothing. It's all a bunch of blank pages. For the past 9-10 months, you've had the opportunity to come up with a health care plan. Instead, what you've done is you've sent your ICE Gestapo to terrorize communities. You've disappeared people to concentration camps. You started a disastrous trade war against the world. I could go on and list all of the disasters you've caused, whether it's ripping down the East Wing of the White House, whether it is ruining people's lives over and over again, but you haven't released a healthcare plan. So what's the plan? Show us the plan. Nope, it's do something, Democrats. He's just like a troll. Like, he's just not a serious human being at all. Then Donald Trump also posted the following, that if you criticize him, he says, words like this are almost treasonous. Donald Trump said, worked really hard 24/7, took in trillions of dollars. And Chuck Schumer said the trip to Asia was a total dud, even though he knows it was a spectacular success. Words like that are almost treasonous. As my friend Greg Sargent writes, we're now a hair away from it being treason to utter a single critical syllable about dear leader on any topic whatsoever. So, Donald, if you brought in trillions of dollars, where is it? Treasury Department doesn't have it. Congressional appropriators don't know where it is. Where are the trillions of dollars? And in the past week, you said you brought in 17 trillion, then you said 18, then you said 20, now you said 22 trillion. You said Toyota was going to invest $10 billion, and they said, nope, I think you misunderstood what we were saying. So where's all this money, Donald? Because the American people are suffering. Our GDP is contracting. Our jobless rate is increasing. Unemployment is increasing. Inflation is surging. That's called stagflation. So where's all of this money? Because you claim you don't have enough money to help people keep their SNAP. You don't have enough money to give people health care. So where's all the money, Donald? And here's where Donald Trump started ranting and raving and saying we need to use the nuclear option. And if you saw my interview with California Governor Gavin Newsom on his YouTube channel, I did about an hour and 14-minute interview with him for his podcast. I'd love for you to watch it. If you haven't watched it, go to Newsom's YouTube channel after this and take a watch. But Newsom and I predicted, we said, here's what's going to happen. Donald Trump's going to yell at MAGA Republican Senator John Thune and say, kill the filibuster. It's exactly what Donald Trump did. Here's Donald Trump's message last night. Majority Leader Thune and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, they're doing a great job, but the Democrats are crazed lunatics. They have Trump derangement syndrome. Wow, 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 wow. This will hurt the citizens. Wow, 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 wow. It's now time for the Republicans to play their Trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now. Because of the fact that Democrats have gone stone cold crazy, the choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster, and make America Great again, exclamation point is what he writes. And again, as I've told you before, I said, I remember when I watched Schoolhouse Rocks. I remember my 5th grade government class. Our system is based on the political parties talking to each other. When MAGA Mike Johnson tells the MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives, which he has, don't show up, when they've only worked 12 of the last 100 days. Wouldn't that be nice if you only work 12 of the last 100 days and they don't show up because they're hiding the Epstein files and they don't want Adelita Grijalva, the Congresswoman-elect from Arizona's 7th Congressional District, to be actually sworn in so she can sign the discharge petition? They're shut down. It's not a functioning House of Representatives right now. And they're not speaking to Democrats, yet alone negotiating with Democrats. Democrats are out there. You can say whatever you want, but Democrats are out there holding town halls. Republicans are not holding town halls. Democrats are saying, let's talk about the shutdown in public. Let's have public debates. Leader Jeffries is saying, let's do this in front of the cameras. And MAGA Mike and Donald Trump are like, oh, that would be too theatrical. We don't like the theatrics is what they say. You don't like the theatrics? Trump doesn't like the theatrics. Nah, you're just a bunch of scam artists. You're just a bunch of con artists, and you like seeing the American people suffer because you're disgusting people. That's really what's going on here. Speaking of being disgusting people, Donald Trump posts more of these memes of Russ Vought, the head of the Office of Management and Budget who wrote Project 2025. He leads Donald Trump's kind of the main office that's like in charge of personnel. And they go, Democrats are terrified of Trump's shutdown slasher. And they should be. OMB Director Vought has a swift and thorough plan to downsize the government. I mean, haven't you been doing that now for the past 9 months? Haven't you been destroying people's jobs, whether it's at the State Department or FEMA or the National Weather Service or the Department of Energy or Department of Agriculture or whichever, any department, the national parks? You've destroyed it. You've essentially had an effective government shutdown now for the past 9 months, basically. And then here was Donald Trump last night. I mean, just this guy in every aspect of what he does, he's utterly humiliating. You know, as the tradition is, you have like these kids, the staff's kids, they come by for Halloween, and Trump's supposed to put the candy in their little bags, or their little pumpkin satchels or whatever. And Donald Trump puts the candies on their head because he's not a normal human being. Just watch what he does here. Play this clip. And like, this is what he always does. Like, he's known for this. When he, like the last time he was in office, he would put the candies on the kid's head, like the kid dressed up as the Minion. He would put it on. Now it looks like it was what, DJ Marshmallow. But here's when he did it to the Minion guy 6 years ago. Play this clip. And that's just weird behavior. I'm just like thinking, like, if someone came to my house, I'm not putting the candy on their head. Like, there's nothing this individual does that is freaking normal, is what I guess I'm trying to say. A lot of Americans disapprove of Donald Trump's handling of the federal government. The latest Washington Post ABC poll, you can see right there. Now, 63% of Americans disapprove. Only 36% of Americans approve of the way Donald Trump is handling the federal government. Basically, he's setting historic lows on everything. He claimed credit for a Nobel Peace Prize award or Nobel Prize awarded for research done in the 1980s. A former Lawrence Berkeley Nationalist lab scientist won the Nobel Prize in Physics for work in quantum physics. Quantum computing, along with AI and fusion, are the three signature Trump scientific efforts. Trump 47 racks up his first Nobel Prize. Trump just awarded himself a Nobel Prize based on quantum research done in the 1980s. Like, again, it's just utterly humiliating. And, you know, in a very serious point, you know, that when he went to China, I mean, he totally capitulated. I mean, they didn't really even make a deal in the first place. China said that it would buy 25 million metric tons of soybeans, which is 2 million metric tons less than they were already buying under former President Biden. There's no guarantees they're even going to buy the soybeans. Our farmers are already suffering. So They've agreed to purchase less now than under former President Biden. And under former President Biden, they were sending rare earth elements to the United States without export controls. And now what they've said to Donald Trump is that every year you need our permission about whether or not we'll put on export controls. And Donald Trump agreed to that. So more restrictive than under former President Biden. And then we gave China semiconductor technology and dropped certain tariffs against China. And just a total and utter capitulation. You have Goldman Sachs CEO says the U.S. is heading for a debt reckoning if growth flags. If we continue on the current course and we don't take the growth level up, there will be a reckoning. The path out is a growth path, which we're not on. Ford says it will be investing $370 million now in India, defying Trump's local push. So much for reshoring, Bloomberg writes. Ford Motor Company is said to plan a $370 million investment in India to churn out new engines as the U.S. car maker resuscitates a factory it shut down 4 years ago. Chipotle falls most since 2012 after warning over diner pullback. The consumer slowdown is really affecting our business in a meaningful way. Shares are down 42% this year. The U.S. trade truce is not truly great. I've explained that to you, that the trade deal with China was a total capitulation. And let me just show you how the MAGA Republican Congress members are messaging the not providing people with SNAP. You have Representative Clay Higgins, big Trump supporter, big MAGA Congress member, leader in the House. He blames SNAP recipients for not stockpiling a month's worth of food, and he calls them crackheads and says, stop smoking crack. There are 22 million American households receiving SNAP benefits for groceries at $4,200 per year on average. Try to get your head wrapped around how many pantries you can stock with $4,200 in properly shopped groceries. Any American who has been receiving $4,200 per year of free groceries and does not have at least 1 month of groceries stocked should never again receive SNAP because, wow, stop smoking crack. That's their motto, the MAGA Republicans. Stop smoking crack. I want to make this point, and I'm not sure if it's been made like this before, but I think it needs to be made. If you think about 42 million Americans needing SNAP, these are not Americans who are lazy and these are Americans who are working, oftentimes multiple jobs, who can't afford groceries. And the reason why is because corporations aren't paying a living wage. The minimum wage has not been raised at a federal level since like forever. There are many states that have an incredibly low amount of money that they allow corporations to pay people. And I think we really need to reflect that while the billionaires keep getting richer, they're not paying workers who are working full-time jobs and are working hard enough money where they can afford groceries and afford rent. Affordability is a massive, massive issue. Trump promised he would make things affordable on day one, and quite the contrary, he's made things less affordable as inflation surged. We need to make corporations pay living wages, and not just living wages, thriving wages. We should want our fellow Americans to be able to afford their rent so we could live in like a socially harmonious country where we support each other. And we should have free healthcare. Like, what are we even talking about here? As Carl Quintanilla says, but look, folks, on the good news, there's a bull market in monuments, banners, and ballrooms at this point for Donald Trump. I just thought it was interesting taking a look at some of these photos of other leaders with Xi Jinping. Like, here's California Governor Gavin Newsom meeting with Xi Jinping. This was Biden meeting with Xi Jinping. This is Trump meeting with Xi Jinping. You see a massive difference right there. And by the way, as we talk about MAGA Mike and this current breed of Republicans, these MAGA Republicans who refuse to even talk to Democrats, they seem to enjoy these MAGA Republicans kicking people off of their health care, not extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies. I think it's important to remember the last Republican, I think Adam Kinzinger. Have you seen the movie that I did with Adam Kinzinger, MeidasTouch Studios, in collaboration with Adam Kinzinger? It's called The Last Republican. It's a new documentary from Meidas Studios. You can get it on Apple TV. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Google Play. You can get it on YouTube. Watch the documentary. It's great. It's funny. It's hope. It's the #1 documentary in the country right now, and it's the #4 movie in the country right now of all genres. Like, it's beating all the major studios movies right now. So make sure you watch it. It supports independent media as well if you do watch it. And I want to get it number one. Right now it's number one on documentaries. I want to get it number one across all genres right there. And finally, I'll just leave you with this. This was a part of my discussion with California Governor Gavin Newsom. You can download the full interview on Newsom's YouTube page. But we predicted exactly what was going to happen with Trump ordering the filibuster to be killed. We said this is exactly what's going to happen, and we called it out in advance of Trump doing it. And I think that's what you have to do in the age of Trump. So watch this clip of my interview, or Newsom interviewed me. It was an honor that the governor of California, the leader pushing back against Trump, interviewed me. It's an honor on behalf of this whole MeidasTouch community. So let me just share with you here. Play this clip.
Does this shutdown ever end?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I think you have to continue to have. Well, first off, I don't think it's going to end this year, and frankly, I don't fully know if it's going. The way it'll end, I think, is they'll kill the filibuster in the Senate.
See, I agree with you.
And,
it's interesting you say that. I think that's got to be more socialized.
Yeah. That, to me, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
People are going to get their letters November 1st that their monthly premiums are going up $2,000-$3,000 or whatever. People are going to rightfully panic. And Trump's still not going to want to do it. He's not going to want to talk. He'll order Thune to kill the filibuster. And to me, that's what they're going to do. I mean, but the way we frame that there is almost the way Zelensky had to frame Putin coming in and let people know in advance what the plan is so that it was socialized before in anticipation. And when you think about these historical figures, Trump kind of thinks that way. So you have to prepare people for what the moves are, which is what we try to do on the network. And that's where I think this ends up heading, because Trump's never going to he's never going to allow MAGA Mike to even speak with Democrats. It's not about the pressure. Trump likes the suffering. Like, he doesn't care that people are in pain.
Cruelty and chaos is the policy.
Exactly.
The one thing all these things have in common, quite objectively.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that would offend him. The cold-bloodedness of Stephen Miller as the implementer and all this. I mean, period, full stop. Cruelty, chaos.
But that's where Democrats can't be complacent, and where they got rightfully a lot of grief was when it seemed that they very early on were just going to let Trump steamroll over them, and they were not speaking powerfully at that time, and it was not being communicated in a way. But in this shutdown fight, it does seem that they've communicated it, that they're being more public, and I feel a better sense of, okay, I see. And I think it was the right move to focus on healthcare, not because of the strategic, but because health care, living is one of the main concepts.
Disproportionately is benefiting. I mean, it's universal. It's not just universal healthcare. It's universal. I mean, it's foundational in our lives, and it connects every single person together disproportionately in these red counties, which is the great irony of this. Who's representing whom? Democrats have your back. To my Republican friends, we have your back, and we're happy to come back to the negotiating table to fight for you. The President of the United States has no interest.
And then I say, well, then what's your plan, Donald? Show me the plan.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. And thanks so much for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.